As a customer of the City of Tallahassee, you deserve the best customer service possible. We understand and value customer service, and it's not only one of our city core values, but our motto is, customer service is our business. Like any organization, we typically understand the demands for our own job, but not always the demands of every other job in the organization. With nearly 3,000 city employees, we have people doing a wide variety of jobs, and sometimes they are in uncomfortable situations, like the raging heat of summer, or going underground to fix a broken pipe, or cleaning cages at our Animal Service Center. With this in mind, our leadership team, which includes the head of each city department, was recently challenged to learn more about the jobs we do in the city, while also promoting customer service. Our goal was to allow our managers to see what it was like to maintain a customer service attitude in all kinds of circumstances, and we did. This training exercise gave us the opportunity to see and learn a lot. Even the city manager went and worked with solid waste pickup. That may be a tough and dirty job, but our employees do it with incredible pride and feel a personal responsibility to help keep our city looking beautiful. It is our pleasure to share with you some of the stories of that day of training, and we hope you'll see that the commitment to customer service runs throughout our city family.
My name is Dee Crumpler, Assistant City Manager for Safety and Neighborhood Services for the City of Tallahassee. I was fortunate enough to be selected to go out and spend the day working with our underground utilities crews that were replacing old sewer lines. Well, it was probably one of the hottest days of the entire year, so I gained a great appreciation for the work that the crew was doing, and also the enthusiasm that the crews had with the amount of money that they were saving with this new process.
So we've got a machine that's going to sit over there. We've ran a cable through the old terracotta pipe, hook it to the end of this new HDPE pipe, and we're going to hook the machines up, and hydraulically we're going to pull this new pipe under the road and at the same time break the old terracotta pipe.
How that saves taxpayer dollars, about $1 million a year, just through this one process. They tear up an old, it's about a 12-inch in diameter clay pipe that's very brittle, and they take a hydraulic system and push the new polypropylene pipe through the old pipe and run it up into the service or up into the yards of the service where they're creating new service or replacing old service sewer services. I felt a little bit like Mike Rowe. The dirtiest part was probably the crews having to work with me, a desk jockey going out the hottest day again of the year. We were down in a 12-foot hole in the street, and literally I walked out of that hole drenched from head to toe with just simple sweat. It was just so hot. I think the biggest thing I got was an appreciation. I actually went out and got the guys a portable tent to put over the hole that they dig in to keep the sunlight out, because when the sun hit the trees and we got shade within the hole that we were working in, it dropped the temperature about 10 or 15 degrees, and we were just all excited about that. So just a great appreciation for the employees that we have in our organization. I've worked with the city since 1985, and I thought I had seen it all, but I worked with this crew and just had a great appreciation for the sewer department, the many employees that we have in our organization that do jobs that at sometimes aren't necessarily appreciated. In this case, until you flush the toilet, and it's very much appreciated.
Cherie Bryant, Planning Manager for the Tallahassee-Leon County Planning Department. I was able to go into the call center where the customer service representatives are taking calls around the clock and helping people with their bills or with outages or any number of different issues.
I'm really impressed with the level of customer service. These guys, they're very smooth and they know exactly what to do. And I've heard about half a dozen different situations, and she can resolve it very quickly in every case. So it's really been a good experience.
I was surprised at just the level of customer service training that the call center people have. I knew that they had to know a lot, but I didn't know that before they ever got to talk with anyone on the phone that they went through 6 weeks of training. And I was just real impressed with how quickly the woman that I sat with was able to answer any question and resolve everything and just keep a nice, calm demeanor. So I learned just an appreciation of just from top to bottom how much work goes into serving the citizens of Tallahassee.
I'm Jim Cook. I'm the City Treasurer Clerk. At the retreat, I had the opportunity to do two things in the customer service area with our utility folks. The first thing I was able to do was spend some time in the call center, working with one of the call center representatives, and then also was able to go out and do an energy audit. I think most interesting thing for me probably at the call center was just the simple fact that the customer service person has to know or be able to find just about everything the customer calls about, and you have no idea what's going to happen until you pick up the phone. What I got out of the experience was maybe not so much learning something new, but just the reminder that everybody we have is in customer service somewhere. I happen to be in the call center where there are people whose title is customer service, but in other aspects and reports I heard from people throughout the day, there are so many things that we do that we call our job, but it's really customer service.
So Jim and Cherie, amazing experience here this morning at the call center. It just looked like our staff was doing a phenomenal job. What do you guys think? I mean, I don't know, Jim, your guy looked like he was really in the trenches, and Cherie, you guys were right over there. What do you guys think?
Well, Steve was really right on top of it. I don't think anybody could do a better job than what we got out of Steve today.
No, I'm sorry there, Jim. Edney was the best. I mean, she's awesome. She had somebody call up who's mad. She calmed him right down.
Oh, I don't see how that could be. No.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve had people being cut off. They had desperate needs, and they're trying to get help, and Steve's the guy to get the job done.
She had somebody who owed like $700 on their bill, and they were really mad, and she got them right where they were happy, and they were saying thank you at the end of it. Come on.
Oh, she probably had one call. Steve taking calls just like this.
No way, buddy. She got like 15 calls.
Oh my gosh, she's making it up. I don't trust a word she says.
I think Cherie really was trying her best, and she probably had a good customer service representative. I think they all do a good job, but it just became apparent to me that the person I was working with really was probably the best they had, and Cherie had a hard time accepting that.
They're both awesome, so I think it was all in good fun.
Now, as you approach the upcoming roundabout, I want you to slow down. You have to yield to the other cars in the roundabout because they have the right of way. Now, once the coast is clear, you just ride on into the roundabout and go around until you find where you want to exit. Now get into the roundabout. Give it some juice.
This is fun!
Visit talgov.com.
You're welcome.
I need your help. Please be my champion.
Every 42 seconds in America, a child suffers from abuse or neglect. These kids need champions. Children's Home Society of Florida has been a champion for children for more than a century. But more kids need us, and they need you. Wells Fargo and WellCare have already stepped up, and you can too. Visit chschampionsforchildren.org.
We need to talk to you about an unpleasant problem, your dog's poop.
Did you know if it's not picked up, it ends up in our drinking water?
Just like any runoff, your dog poop is just as much a part of the pollution problem.
There are some simple steps we can all take to help protect our drinking water.
Disposing of your dog poop properly is just one of them. Tap. Every drop you lose, nature finds.
I'm Ivan Maldonado. I'm the director of Star Metro. At the leadership retreat, I had a great opportunity to visit with the senior center, where I did a couple of different things on that day. I greeted customers. How are you doing? Good. I'm Ivan Maldonado. I helped in the class of ukulele, and I was one of the assistants, and also with the painting as an assistant as well. I learned a lot of things at the senior center. I didn't realize that they do as many different activities at the senior center. For example, the ukulele class was exciting to me. I did not know that they had that class. I did not know they have other music classes as well. And what I also learned is that a lot of the work that is done there is through volunteers, which is a great thing. Well, I had a good time holding the signs. Of course, I don't know how to read notes, and I know very little about music.
No, that's not right. That has to, Ivan, look. That finger has to go down. That one's got to, no. There, no. Now, let's try the G chord, okay? No. Ivan, we went over this. We have
The instructor was very assertive, almost like in the military. It reminded me of the time when I was in the military in boot camp.
Oh, that's good.
But she did a good job, and I think I deserve the rough and assertive treatment that she gave me for me to stay on task. I wasn't quite a rock star, I was more like a rock, but not a star. But I enjoyed myself just helping with some of the folks there, and each and every individual who was there had a great time, and so did I. Well, I really enjoyed the time that I spent there. What I liked was the fact that I interacted with customers, citizens of Tallahassee. I learned about the different services the city offers, especially the senior center, and they do a multitude of things. It's an intergenerational mix, where you have young and older folks being there. The fact that they're using so many volunteers, it was amazing to me because the city, the money that the city is investing, of course, is being reciprocated by the volunteers that are coming in and providing their services. And they do a fantastic job. Everybody was friendly, cheerful, and the citizens that were there, they enjoy being there.
My name is Angela Hendrith, and I'm the manager of Equity and Workforce Development. I had the pleasure of working with Jody Henderson, and she's part of the Parking Enforcement Unit. We went around to take a look at who was overparked at the meters. That was only a small part of what she did. The other part was that Jody actually took a look at illegal parking, those who were maybe parking at the yellow curb or the red curb. She took a look at the signs that were out there that were not visible, and if you couldn't see them, she would call Public Works and say, you guys need to get down here and fix this sign. But she said it in a nice way, of course. Let me just say that as a parking enforcement officer, I did my job. And if I saw someone who was violating the policy or the law, I had to do what I had to do.
Curb is a yellow curb, even if you have a yellow tag.
Communications, they were there, they were parked illegally. I'm thinking, you know what, why not? Why not make an example out of them? So, maybe.
Okay. Nope. 2.5, not 2.55. The amount's 25 for a yellow curb. Wait a minute. Back up one more time. Okay. Hit clear. Okay. And now 2 and 5.
Wait, you know what? I should have brought my glasses. I can't see a thing.
Okay. Hit
Hold on.
clear.
Okay. Let me try it again. Hold on. Okay.
I had a few issues with it because my fingers are so big, and with typing and stuff, I kept making mistakes. But Jody was really great.
Hold on. Okay. You know what? I think this thing is broken. I think it's broken.
But she took the time to show me how to do everything, and she allowed me to, I think I ticketed maybe 4 or 5 cars. I know what I want to do when I grow up. I'm going to be a parking enforcement officer. I want to make sure we do this again. This was big fun, but it was also a great learning experience, and I think it's great for all of the employees to see the leadership team coming to where they live. And it was a nice time, a great time, a good opportunity for all of the employees to show us that this is what we do, and this is how we make a difference in the city. And I know out of this whole experience, some of the directors actually came back with some ideas of things they wanted to do for others in the department. So it was great.
I'm Cynthia Barber, Director of Environmental Policy and Energy Resources. I worked with the maintenance division of the sewer section, and we were TV and sewer lines. We worked in a mobile unit that actually is doing exactly what it says. There's a TV-like device that's on a vehicle, and it's connected to a camera that actually surveys activities within our sewer system. And so we had the opportunity to look for obstructions, potential maintenance hazards, connections for customer connections. If there were issues, we would notify customers that they may need to have their lines serviced. Do you go down somebody goes down in there?
In the manhole?
Yeah. Also, I got an opportunity to get out of the truck and go and explore actually in the manhole, kind of what's happening down there. So I learned a lot about what it takes to keep the sewer system going. It's just like the utilities, or like with electricity. You know, when we flip the switch, we expect for it to work. When we flush, we expect for it to work. We don't often think about what it takes to actually make it work. So I got a chance to do that and see how much goes into ensuring that we have a good working system. And I worked on the preventative maintenance side, which is an important piece. I got to see that we don't just respond to problems. We actually go out in a proactive way, looking for what could potentially become problems and address those before it happens.
I'm Jerome Gaines, the fire chief. The day of the retreat, I worked at the animal control shelter. I went over and helped clean some cages and so forth, and kind of got a feel for what it was like to walk in one of the employees' shoes.
We had Fire Chief Gaines coming through, and we had him scooping out kennels, cleaning cat kennels. We had to teach him how to use a water hose, but he was pretty good with that, hosing down everything.
I'd much rather do firefighting. It's difficult for me to work there with animals because, believe it or not, I get attached to them. So it's much easier to do firefighting than being around animals all day. Because I know at the end of the day, some of those animals won't make it. They won't get adopted, so it would be difficult for me.
Your tax dollars at work.
As hard as they tried, no, I did not. I've got 2 at home, and that's more than enough. I've got a dog, and I've got a cat. It's Chester and Tilly.
Pooper Scooper.
What I got out of it is about teamwork, working together, and being willing to go for help to other departments or other people in the city that have an expertise and that we all are connected in one way or the other. And so I got out of the importance of teamwork and being able to put myself in someone else's shoes to see what they have to go through on a daily basis. City employees are great. I mean, everyone that I've met since I've been in this position has been over backwards to offer any assistance I need. I know I can always go to any department member, any employee, and ask, maybe what might appear to be a dumb question, but they'll have an answer for me. I feel like here, everybody is committed to making this community the best, and we're a family. That's what I feel like. So it's a great experience.
I tell you what, you're the right people for this job. You guys do a great job. I mean, you got to have a passion for this.
Absolutely.
And obviously you do.
Everybody's here because they want to do it. Everybody loves these animals. So thank
All right.
you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Learn more at talgov.com.
When someone abducts a child, they're not about to advertise it. But we will. Sign up at wirelessamberAlerts.org to get free Amber Alert text messages on your cell phone. Help put a child abductor out of business for good. Wireless Amber Alerts. A child is calling for help.
Get up and get grooving. Kid, what's up with you? Let's get up and play. Do something. Stop slumping like a lump all day. Get on up, come on. Get out the door. Let's shake that booty like never before. Let's run, have fun. Let's jump and groove. Get up and get that body up. Make it move. Get up, and be a player. Get up. Woo. Let's run, have fun. Get up and be a player.
Get up and play an hour a day.
Ouch! Sorry. For cool playtime ideas, go online. Just don't stay long.
Hey, Grandpa, I can hear the ocean. Think you could hear it on your new phone?
Yes, I'm sure I could.
Thanks to the FTRI Equipment Distribution Program, Florida residents who have hearing loss can qualify at no cost for a phone that lets you hear clearly when you make or receive a call.
You know what's better than hearing the sound of the ocean? Hearing the sound of your voice on my new amplified phone.
Contact FTRI to see if you qualify for a specialized phone. You won't have to shell out a dime.
Hi, I'm Roxanne Manning. I'm the Executive Director of the Community Redevelopment Agency. I worked at the kennel. I washed dishes, I cleaned cages, I petted dogs, I assisted with the surgery, and basically stuff like that.
So what we'll do is we'll fill the washer entirely, and once it's done, we'll split that into 2 loads to dry. Okay.
In general, the rule in here is anything blue or green you can't touch because it's probably sterile. Okay. So you're going to peel this back to the 2 pieces apart, and then let this drop. Either you can peel it back and she can grab it from you, or if she's busy working with something, you can peel it back and then kind of let it tip out and drop on the tray. But you want to let it fall because you don't want the outside of this, which is not sterile, to touch that stuff which is sterile.
Cleaning the cat cages, no doubt. We had to clean out the litter boxes and all that. That was rough. And then we spent a little bit of time shoveling stuff off the pavement. That was out there.
So what did you think of the poop scooping?
Not bad. I already have a dog who came from here, so I'm kind of used to it.
Excellent. Well, that's 1 down. So we only have about 108 to go.
Wow. All right.
Okay.
I think I may have found a dog.
Oh, nice.
Seriously, cute little puppy. Oh, man.
I fell in love with a little Chihuahua puppy by the name of Biscuit, but we resisted and no. But since that time now, I actually do have a new family member. So yeah, it worked. I think one of the most memorable parts of the whole experience was working with the staff. Perry Dale was our liaison, and her passion and her enjoyment for the work that she did, the way she explained every part of what we had to do and why we had to do certain things to certain standards, it was really clear that what she cared about was the welfare of the animals there. And it was inspiring. And she introduced us to a number of other staff members, and they had that same kind of attitude and commitment. And it was, it was really nice to know that those kind of people are responsible for taking care of lost animals here. I found the whole thing really good.
Well, thank you so much for helping out today. You were a great help, taking care of everything and doing the dishes and all, so I really appreciate it.
It's a lot of fun.
Maybe next year we'll see you again.
Okay.
Okay, well, you have to give him back to us.
You sure?
We're bonding. Sorry. We'll work something out.
Yeah, really.
Thank you.
Thanks, you take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
My name is Reese Goad. I'm the General Manager of Utility Services. When we went on the retreat, I learned to be a cameraman. I interviewed folks, and I was part of the WCOT crew. And so we learned all those things about making TV and what goes on behind the scenes as well. I was probably most impressed with how hardworking the city employees are. Whether it was at the Senior Center in helping all of our seniors in the various programs that we have, and how much they actually had to do. There was so much work to be done, yet they did it with a smile on their face, and they did it in a way that was caring and supportive of all of our community, in that case at the Senior Center. And then we had to switch gears and go outside, and it was really hot. There was lots of traffic. It was difficult to navigate around the traffic in the heat, but yet that's what we do every day. That's what our employees, the City of Tallahassee employees, do every single day, is they're out in the elements. They're in other situations that are stressful, that are busy, and I was impressed at how well all of the folks that I interacted with handled those situations. Well, I've got to be honest. I probably need to lift a little more weights because the cameras were heavy, and I probably need to learn to be a little steadier. It was a lot harder than I would have thought it would have been. So we were able to film. I had to zoom in, I had to zoom out. Sometimes I got the microphone in the way. So what I learned was it was really hard to be a WCOT camera person and a news reporter. And I had the good fortune to work with Ashley Edwards, our Director of Parks and Recreation. And I've got to tell you that I think I'm a better reporter than she is. I'm for sure a better cameraman, because when I was the camera person and I had to control the mic, I kept the microphone out of the camera. But Ashley wasn't so good now. Ashley wasn't so good, and she kept trying to take over. So it was fun to work with her, but I'm sure I'm a better TV reporter than she is.
My name's Ashley Edwards, and I'm the Director of the Parks, Recreation, and Neighborhood Affairs Department. I was fortunate enough to get to follow Tanya around and help the WCOT crew film all the fun activities that everybody else was getting to do that day. I got to do a little interviewing, got to pick a few people and talk to them about the jobs that they got to do. I also got to carry the camera around and actually shoot footage of the different jobs that they were doing. And then I got to help with, what else did I do? I helped Reese carry, when he was carrying it, was I doing sound? Okay, so you're gonna edit this, right? Right, okay. And also got to help when my coworker Reese was carrying the camera around, then I would get to help do the sound part while he was doing the filming part, and then we'd switch and take turns. I did not realize, number one, how heavy those cameras are, and how much thought you have to give about light and where the light's coming from and where the person's standing and who they're talking to and what's behind them.
I think a car's coming, guys.
And just kind of setting up a shot, and I was really so impressed with the folks at WCOT, because like Tony could just look at it in 2 seconds and know exactly, okay, come stand here, let's do this and let's do this angle. And it's just, there's a whole lot more to it than just pointing the camera at somebody and letting them talk. The hardest part was probably trying to make sure everything stayed in focus and getting the focus right, and just kind of making sure that you thought about everything. There's like 3 or 4 things you have to do to set up and be ready for each shot, and to get that done. The other thing that was really hard is not to zoom too fast, not to zoom in too fast on people or zoom out too fast on people.
Good job, good job.
You know, Reese was probably not a better cameraman or a better reporter than me, but he was able to carry the camera like for long distances and long times, and he really seemed to like carrying that camera around. And I don't know exactly where he was always zooming into when he was zooming. I just know you got to be really careful where you point that camera, and I'm not really sure where Reese was always pointing the camera and zooming in. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to really talk about, you know, anything else, who was better or whatever, but I'm not sure he was better.
Ivan Maldonado, our superintendent of transit for Star Metro, he had some skills that I wasn't sure he had.
Para bailar la bamba, se necesita una poca de gracia pa' ti, pa' mí, ahí arriba, ahí arriba, ahí arriba, ahí arriba.
It's flashing lights up there. What should I do?
You should stop, look, and listen.
I should what?
You should stop. This is a mid-block crossing. When the lights are flashing, someone wants to cross. So we have to let the pedestrians go. We have to stop.
Okay, so you're saying I should stop. Crossing time. Oh,
Exactly. Or you could stop in the name of lights before you break my heart. Think it over.
Visit talgov.com.